Welcome to another production of Source Selection Soundbites. These productions foster learning, insight, and the ability to perform. Today's topic is an overview of FAR 15 negotiated procurement. Today we will discuss general topics related to FAR 15 negotiated procurement. Topics include the definition of negotiated procurement, what is FAR 15 negotiated procurement, and the key sections of FAR 15. In accordance with FAR 15.000 and the Government Contracts Reference Book, a negotiated procurement is defined as a contract negotiated by other than sealed bidding. Sealed bidding is a contracting method where the award is made solely based on the price submitted by bidders, considering only price and other price-related factors outlined in the solicitation. There are no further negotiations allowed after bids are opened, meaning the contract is awarded to the responsible bidder with the lowest evaluated price that meets all specifications. On the other hand, a negotiated procurement is typically utilized for more complex procurements where factors beyond price, such as technical capability or past performance, play a crucial role. Unlike the more simplistic sealed bidding procedure, negotiated procurement allows more interaction between the government and prospective contractors, a deeper evaluation of proposals, and negotiation to enhance the proposal's attractiveness to the government. Now that we know what negotiated procurement is, let's take a look at the layout of the principal types of negotiated procurements commonly used in government contracting. FAR 6.102 has a list of negotiated acquisition methods that are classified as full and open competition, including FAR 15 negotiated procurement, which is commonly referred to in judicial decisions as competitive proposals. FAR 15 lays the foundation for the basic principles used in negotiated procurements, such as the ways to obtain best value and dealing with pre-solicitation communication with industry. It also has some FAR 15 specific process requirements that COs are not required to follow, such as how a CO is required to enter discussions, but they are required to follow the principles of fairness and equity contained in its procedures, unless the FAR part utilized specifically authorizes deviations. This chart shows several other kinds of acquisitions that use the basic tenets of negotiated procurements in terms of choosing the best value and the agency's ability to negotiate as necessary, but they contain additional flexibilities based on the product or service being purchased and the degree of latitude the agency requires to obtain the best value quotation or proposal. According to the FAR 15 Process Model and Process Inefficiency article by Vern Edwards, at its essence, making a source selection in a competitive acquisition is a matter of information processing. The decision-maker collects information about competing firms, assesses each alternative in accordance with specified criteria, and then decides who the awardee or awardees will be. Even though the FAR does not provide step-by-step instructions for a source selection, and no prescribed method of doing things, an outline of the source selection process has developed. It always begins with identifying a requirement, conducting market research to validate and shape the requirements, developing the acquisition strategy based on market research, which is intertwined with pre-solicitation exchanges with offerers. Then the agency prepares and issues requests for proposals and any necessary amendments. We also have guidance on receiving, handling, modifying, evaluating proposals, as well as dealing with exchanges that one must have with respondents before making the award decision. In addition to addressing the general issues that must be managed in the acquisition process, FAR 15 also provides some in-depth instructions on how and when to evaluate cost or price, depending on the circumstances of the procurement. Given that FAR 15 is the foundation of all negotiated procurements, it provides instructions on how to conduct price analysis and the circumstances under which it is warranted, and it provides details on how and the circumstances under which cost analysis is required. Where there are gaps in direction or steps provided by the FAR, some agencies are there to provide additional instruction. For example, DoD steps in to dictate how the acquisition will be carried out under FAR 15 procedures in certain circumstances, via the DoD Source Selection Procedures Guide. Among other things, it provides instructions on the decision-making structure and provides information on roles and responsibilities of the parties. But of particular note, If the acquisition equals or exceeds $100 million, it dictates that the CO will not be the source selection official, and the policy informs the CO that there should be discussions. In addition, among other things, it also provides guidance on rating methodologies and definitions that will be used and prescribes the minimum documentation that shall be included in every file. The selection process may include any number of best value methodologies, including LPTA, trade-off, and the highest technically rated. In the low-price technically acceptable best value methodology, price is the determining factor in the selection decision among vendors who met the technical requirements set forth in the solicitation. The use of this best value methodology is restricted in a number of circumstances, as it has been deemed inappropriate for quality of products and services and the long-term health of the industrial base. The next best value methodology is trade-off. The trade-off process is a little more nuanced because the relationship between the technical factors and cost or price varies based on the agency's goals. The technical factors can be less important than cost or price, approximately equal to price, or more or significantly more important than cost or price. Lastly, there is the highest technically rated offeror with a fair and reasonable price best value methodology, which awards to the highest rated offeror with a fair and reasonable price. It stresses technical excellence and minimizes the impact of price in the source selection decision. No matter which best value methodology is utilized, the same basic steps are followed no matter what type of negotiated contracting and best value methodology used. To wrap things up, let's review what we discussed. We discussed the definition of negotiated procurement. Second, we discussed FAR 15 negotiated procurements. And third, we discussed the key parts of FAR 15. Thank you for watching another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. For additional information, check out some of the other videos in this series, other Productivity Partners materials, or our Source Selection Answer app that is available on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. In any event, thanks for watching, and see you next time.